A lot of people say they don't like the transmission in the smart car. They say it's worst transmission ever. But I think it's rather brilliant. You know, neutral, drive, it's an automatic. Keep in mind the transmission in a smart car, it's not an automatic, it's a manual, automated manual transmission. That means it's just like the manual transmission with the shifter and the clutch, but it automatically shifts it itself. So it's got little gear servos that's put it into gear. It's got a clutch actuator that pushes the clutch pedal, and all of it is computer controlled. They say they don't like it because it's jerky, but I mean, if you're shifting gears, you know, it would be jerking just the same. It has never failed to go into gear, has never failed to downshift or upshift, never any errors with it. It's always been a solid shifting transmission. And this is after 207,000 kilometers, almost 208,000 kilometers. Original clutch. Coming into a corner, heavy on the brakes. Here, it pushed in the clutch, spooled the gears, and then put it into gear. Did all that on its own. I didn't do anything. All I did was push the brake and then push the gas again. I've tried to get it to screw up, and it just doesn't want to screw up. It just keeps on working. So here I am starting out again. It's in first gear, hit the button, it's in automatic. Then you just push the gas and go. Just as you would an automatic, but it's not an automatic, it's a manual. Benefit of it being a manual is you don't have the same losses in energy as you would going through a torque converter. With the new automatics with the torque converter lockup, it's pretty much one-to-one. You don't really lose a lot of energy. It's just getting to that speed before it locks up where you lose all the energy. So when it's a manual transmission, the only losses you get are from friction and rotating losses, getting everything turning and whatnot. So you get better fuel economy. So what the smart guys at Smart did is they put the little 3-cylinder diesel engine to a manual transmission, and instead of having a shifter and a clutch you got to put in, they wanted it to be a city cruiser, you know, like for people who don't know how to drive a standard. So they wanted a automatic, but they didn't want to have any of the losses that you get from a traditional automatic, so they put a manual transmission in it. And to make it more driver friendly, they made it automated manual transmission. So I got it in automatic now, and all I'm doing is pushing on the gas and hitting the brake just as you would in automatic transmission. Shifts pretty good, and you can still take it out of automatic and put it in manual. So if you want to shift the gears manually, or put it back in automatic. But I think it's a brilliant transmission, and the shift program is great. If I could put this shift program on a heavy truck, nope, going straight, it would be awesome. I don't see the big problem with it. You know, it's, I mean, heck, this is a car that gets 72 miles per gallon. You know, it's a 3-cylinder diesel engine, made it to a little itty-bitty transmission. You know, what do you expect? You know, this isn't a big heavy car. It only weighs 1,800 pounds. I missed the turnoff. Crap. 1,800 pounds, and the suspension on the front of the car is pretty light because it's such a light car. So any kind of excessive weight going forward or going back, you know, the car is gonna rock. You know, it's just how it is for a light car. You need light springs, or else it's a really stiff ride. So yeah, I think it's a great transmission. I appreciate the how well it works. If the transmission was shit in this car, and there's all these other little things that break after a while, you know, it wouldn't be worth fixing these little cars. But the fact that it shifts so well, drives so well, after 208,000 kilometers, you know, and this little car is still giving it the beans wherever I go. You know, it's you know, that transmission makes or breaks this little car. You for whatever reason, say you never driven a smart car before, and you leave it in manual, it automatically shifts when you over rev it. See, so it won't let you blow it up, which is very cool. The only thing I would have liked if the smart car could do a little bit better was just a little bit tighter turning radius. Because a lot of these times I'll be driving and I'll miss the turn off. Some of the streets are pretty narrow. This one's pretty wide. I mean, it'd be cool to just whip around the street. Some of the times I gotta back up. So it has just tight enough turning radius to turn around on the road. I remember I had a Nissan Micra before I hit a deer with it. And that car turns really sharp, you know, just whip right around. So one of the things that you should invest in if you have a smart car is a seatbelt pad. Because being this car is so light, and heaven forbid you ever do get into an accident, it's gonna throw you around in the car a lot more than a larger car would. And if you have that nice pad on your seatbelt, there's less of a chance of it doing any kind of damage. Say you're a big, tall, skinny guy driving a little smart car, you should definitely get one of these seatbelt pads. You can even get them with the same Mercedes on it. It's made in China, but you know, it definitely help out in the event of a crash. So anyway, I'm not going to do that today, but you know, or tomorrow, or any other day. Where's a knock on some wood? I got a different test. How about we do a test from 100 to 120, and we'll cross our fingers that there's no photo radar here. Okay, there's 100. Shift down. It's climbing. So I get to 120 before I run into that car in front of me. There, 120. The little car has no trouble maintaining highway speed. Passing, that's another story though. You need a lot of room to pass if you're in a smart car. If everyone's doing the speed limit on a highway and you need to pass, it's probably best to wait for a double lane, or if you got lots of room and you're going down a hill, then maybe try. But yeah, it'll get there. It'll get like up to 120. It just doesn't accelerate too quickly. Got lots of torque, but not a lot of acceleration. Better than that. Well, you can, and you can probably get better too, but that's good enough. And being it's such a little car, you know, you can whip it around and do a whole bunch of things that in a bigger car would attract way more attention, but because it's so small, it doesn't look too bad. You know, it just seems cute. It's like, oh, look at that little cute car, it's going so fast. Out of the way of the economy machine. And if you're just cruising around, taking it easy, it seems to have the right gear for every speed. You know, 60, you know, it just putts around, you step on it, it still has some pickup to it. You know, driving around at 50, you know, a little bit taller gear, but it's not whining out at any RPM. It's got a 6-speed transmission, so it's always has the right gear for the right speed, it seems. And it's got hill hold assist, so you step on the brake and there's a minute before it disengages, or a second. So if you're on a hill, you got that 1 second before it starts rolling back on you, which is pretty handy. It's not a very quick car off the line, just because you can't control the rate at which the clutch is let out. If you have a really good clutch, then it's pretty quick. If your clutch is a little bit worn out like this one, then that's about as fast as it's going to go off the line. Once it gets going and the clutch is engaged, then it, you know, it gets a bit quicker. But that initial start out, you kind of got to wait for the clutch to come out on its own. There's no real way around that. You could move the clutch actuator out, but if you move it out too far, then it might not work altogether. So I don't know, you could play with the distance of your clutch actuator, but really the only way to get it to be quicker off the line is to have a really good clutch. Have a clutch discs that are in really good shape. Okay, I found the place. He was a nice fella. Dropped him off a nice box of wine. He's gonna go get plastered now. So here's accelerating in automatic. And here's accelerating in manual. About the same. I think the automatic does a really good job of picking the shift points. For accelerating, the automatic works pretty good. If you're trying to get a little bit extra fuel economy out of it, then the manual is probably the best bet. So say we're cruising at 60. So we're cruising at 60. The automatic has it in 4th gear. Let's say you wanted to cruise at 60 and have a little bit lower RPM, well, you just put it in 5th gear and manual. And there we just put around at 50 or 60. There's RPMs right there, so we're about 1800 RPM. You know, you have the option. It's a manual, you should be able to select the gears you want, and you can. So you can have a manual transmission with the economical benefits that go along with having a manual transmission, by being able to select the gear you want and have it hold in that gear, just as you would with a manual shifter. Or you can put it in automatic and it shifts the gears for you. So I think it's pretty cool.